What's up, everybody? It's the Digital World Podcast. Stay tuned for this video because this is very, very important. Here we see Adam is tweeting because this statistic here, let me actually click on this, is quite alarming. Very alarming. 49% of U.S. adults ages 55 to 64 have no personal retirement savings. That is an enormous percentage. So when stuff hits the fan, can you imagine how many people are going to go down with it because they just have absolutely no type of backup plan? It says, and of those who do, the latest Federal Reserve survey of consumer finances found that Americans aged 55 to 64 hold a median savings of about $134,000. That's not nearly enough, folks, because the hidden tax of inflation has been eating away at people's savings. It no longer holds the same amount of stored value that it used to. And he says in this tweet, in response to his previous tweet, that the financial unpreparedness of tens of millions of boomers/Gen Xers for their twilight years is a massive and prolonged social crisis that's hurtling towards us. At the same time, we have Social Security and Medicare that are fast approaching insolvency. The impending crisis that's been kicked down the road, since the great financial recession that happened, that was the beginning of the end, if you will. And the system has just been fed lots of easy money to keep it propped up. And there is a day of reckoning that's going to come. Here is an image that Mark Moss posted. And here it's basically showing basic material shortages looming. You see that the fossil fuel consumption is just increasing worldwide, right? Even in China and India. And the price, or it says this is the energy/metals capex, and it's, I believe, the amount of money that's being put into this, and it's been decreasing ever since 2014. So we're having inverse trends here, where the production is not there, but the consumption is ever so increasing, and that is gonna create a super cycle in the commodities market. But you're gonna see a lot of pain. Hence the statistic I just showed you of a lot of people are not financially ready whatsoever in case something were to go awry. Now, I want you to listen to this clip, and it's a lot of the similar. There's a lot of the sentiment is the same, and what they were telling you then, they're telling you now, and this is something you've got to listen to.
Unfortunately, housing prices are up quite a bit. I think it's important to note that fundamentals are also very strong. We've got a growing economy, jobs, incomes. We've got very low mortgage rates. We've got demographics supporting housing growth.
Down 1.7% here, a loss of 37 points or so. Apple shares are just getting hammered this morning.
We're down by between 3 and 4.5% generally across these markets. Let's talk about the speed with which we are watching this market deteriorate. We're red everywhere, essentially, down by 4-5%.
We're down over 16%. Dow at the same time has fallen about 18%.
The stock market is now down 21%.
We're now down.
Serious recession in decades. And that means life, as most Americans know it, is about to change, in some cases dramatically.
The process of inflation will stop so that there won't be further. When we think of inflation, we really think of inflation going up year upon year upon year upon year. That's inflation. When you have inflation for 12 months or whatever it may be, I'm just taking an example, I'm not making an estimate, then you have a price increase, but you don't have an inflation.
Has released a stunning report showing the highest rate of inflation by far since 1981. According to the latest Consumer Price Index, inflation rose 1.2% in March. That's an 8.5% increase from the same time last year.
The labor market has remained extremely tight, with the unemployment rate near a 50-year low, job vacancies at historical highs, and wage growth elevated. Over the past 3 months, employment rose by an average of 408,000 jobs per month, down from the average pace seen earlier in the year, but still robust.
As we were talking about Tesla making headlines this morning after Musk said the company would look to reduce headcount by around 10%, but that trend extends throughout almost all of tech. Coinbase said that it's even
Okay, so you see that, right? And the fact of the matter is that it's happening again. Now, I do believe there's one last push in this market where you're going to see euphoria, right? And so many people, because they've been pushed to the end of the risk curve, because they have nowhere else to make money, are going to go in. And unfortunately, a lot of people will be burned. So this is the time, folks. Don't get caught up with the virtual stuff. It's more about obtaining the physical things that are tangible, that you can hold, that are in your sole possession. That's what you need to get a hold of. Here, he's a great account to follow for statistics. He says a profligate system that feeds on debt requires perpetual expansion or it will perish. The USD status as reserve currency has allowed the US to push debt and deficits beyond where many sovereigns failed. 120% debt and 12% deficit to GDP means the Fed is tightening a time bomb. This is scary. The percentage of debt to GDP is increasing, and that is not a good sign. It's not a good sign. And the deficit as a percentage of GDP is getting, it's falling, right? Folks, the day of reckoning is getting closer and closer. That's why something tangible is really, really important. One of the hallmarks of this channel is food, water, and shelter. Those are the most essential necessities. Everything else comes after that. And obviously, God comes first. But this is where we're at in today. And what's coming is very ominous. So prepare yourself, get others prepared. I've shown you data, right? You're looking at a lot of charts. Use those to show others and to share with others so that they can see what's coming. And it's inevitable. It's just a matter of when it happens, not if. So thank you for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel. It's the Digital World Podcast, and I'll see you in the next episode.